Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another type of join, which is cross join. Now, to explain this cross join concept, first of all, I will show you some queries and some data on which we will understand the requirement, like in which scenarios or in which condition we can utilize this cross join. And then later, we will see how we can utilize the cross join query inside sqlrpgle program. So let me show you the queries first. So this time we have slightly changed the table as like if you are following the entire series for this joins, then we have changed the second table to explain the requirement in easier way. So you can see here the first table is uh, players table, where we have columns like player ID, player name, and we have set the player ID as primary key, although it will not affect anything, but um, just for making it primary, I keep this line. Okay. Now the second table we have is a matches table, where we have created one column for match type of varchar 255. Now I will show you the data which I have stored here. So for that I will run one query, select star from Sharmit1, which is my library name, slash tables players. So first table name is players. So this is the data where we have stored the player ID and player name. Now similarly, if I show you the another table, which is the matches. So this is the matches table, second table, where we have stored the match type as international or domestic. Now uh, assume that you are asked to show all the players who has played for international matches as well as domestic matches. But if any player has played is playing the international matches, it means he has also played the domestic matches. Okay, so in that case, what it means, like every player has played both type of the matches, because the players table contains only the international player list. We can assume that. So in that case, what we need a cross join. What it will do, it will pick one player ID and player name and cross it with these type. Like firstly it will print with international matches, then it will print for the domestic matches. So likewise, every record is cross joined with this matches table. Okay, now let's see how we can perform the cross join. So here I'm copying this query and pasting it here. So here what we are doing, we are selecting the player ID, p1.player ID, p1.player name, m1.match type from matches table. This is my table. Although you can put players table on top, that is also fine. So matches table as m1, cross join with players table as p1. There is no common column needed for this type of join, because we are not doing this on thing. Like if you remember, in other joins we are applying it on a common column, right? So here it is not needed. We are just doing the cross join between matches table and players table, and then we are printing the required columns. So if I hit enter, and one more thing, the table which is the column which is prefixed with p1 dot is coming from the players table, you can see as alias. Similarly, m1 dot match type is coming from matches table. So hitting enter, so you can see these are the records. So you can see record every player has two entries. One is for international matches and one is for domestic matches. So that was our requirement, right? So likewise you can see player 18, player 45, every player has equivalent record for international and domestic matches. So this is the condition where we can utilize if you are in such situation where you want to do cross multiplication of the records. Then in that case you can utilize cross join. So yeah, that's all about the process. Now we will see how we can utilize the same inside sqlrpgle program. So in sqlrpgle program, I'm declaring one constant with 5 times zeros, and this constant we will use to verify the query whether it is executed properly or not. Afterwards, I have declared one data structure with the name ODIDS, and there I have declared three subfields: player ID, player name, match type. Okay, so as per your columns, you can define these like character, character join, decimal. After that, I am setting the commitment control option to star none, and here on line number 28, I am declaring the cursor. So to declare the cursor, just use the same keywords: declare, cursor name, get ODI records, scrollable cursor, for, and this is the actual query. So as usual, we will verify this query. So let me paste it here. So it is always better to verify the query before creating the cursor. So it is printing the required result. It means our query is fine. So now we are good to use this insert cursor. So it will create the cursor for this below query. Once cursor is created, we will open it. So here I'm executing the SQL to open the cursor get ODI records. Afterwards, I'm running one loop, do while SQL state is equal to SQL state underscore valid, and inside this loop I'm fetching the record one by one. Next record from get ODI records cursor into ODI DS, which is my host variable. Okay, so that's why we are not declaring we are using DS because we don't want to pass multiple host variable here. So here we are just passing the data structure, and inside data structure we have separate subfields for the required columns. If SQL state is not equal with SQL state underscore valid, then simply leave the loop. Simply leave the loop. Otherwise, print the required data. So here I am printing the w underscore name, w underscore player ID, w underscore match type, and if n2. After fetching the data, we are closing the cursor. So here I am executing the exec SQL for close cursor, and this is my cursor name get ODI records. And then in the end, we are setting the INLR to star on. So let's quickly compile this program and call it. So you can see for every player, it is printing 2-time record. One is entries for international cricket match and another is for domestic match. Likewise, it will print for every record. Like for each player, there is 2 rows. One is showing the international record and one is showing the domestic matches. So this is how we can utilize the cross join inside sqlrpgle program. So I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.